All right, guys, welcome back again this week to another episode of the Geekdom podcast, coming in hot, apparently. I'm your host again this week, and always, I'm joined by Nate. Nate, how you doing this week?
Pretty good. I've kind of got an addiction going right now for a specific game. I'm sure we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I found something to kind of like fill that post game depression that I have for Ghost of Tsushima. So I'm feeling pretty good. How about you?
Yeah, doing pretty good this week. Playing a lot of the same old. It feels like, but we'll cover that later.
Right, right.
But we've got a decent amount of news this week. None of it's too crazy. We're getting ready to head into the fall season where we're going to start getting games every week. So
Oh, I'm excited too.
yeah,
Like there was a big lull between like Ghost and everything else that's coming out this year.
yeah,
I wish somebody would have released something like end of August or maybe yeah, I don't know. It'd have been great.
yeah. And no, I agree. But our first bit of news is a game we've talked about a couple of times on the show. Finally got a reveal trailer, and that is Call of Duty Cold War.
It
And
it looks great.
yeah, yeah. Whenever they pan up though, and you see President Reagan, I'm like, oh man, that's cool. They used an actual president, in the
Yeah.
game to do that. I was like, all right, I dig it to help set that '80s
Mm-hmm.
kind of vibe they've got going on. But yeah, still no release date. I don't believe. But
Yeah.
it's rumored to be that like first to second week in November is usually the range that they hit.
But like there's I think we may talk about this a little later.
Mm-hmm.
Cuz in Gamescom, I believe that they had an interview with one of the developers.
Yeah.
Um and like the way they're going about this is actually kind of really awesome. You get to create your own character. There's multiple endings. There's a branching story to where decisions will actually determine outcomes,
Mm-hmm.
and that's they turn their campaign into a actual real RPG. Like that's basically as RPG as you get. Make your own character. Your decisions changes the plot. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. It has multiple endings, so
Yeah,
which it feels weird coming from a first person shooter,
right. But
but it's nice to see.
I
But
mean, Call of Duty campaigns have always been good.
yeah,
So I mean, we'll see how good the multiple endings are.
yeah,
I think that'll be big.
yeah. But they've also talked about, I guess, the zombies mode is going back to like more of an old school like Black Ops One era.
Yeah.
You know, none of the crazy buying perks and having all the crazy abilities and stuff like that. Just good old zombie killing waves.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah, no, I
You know.
100% agree with that. But yeah. So whenever we get a release date, which I have a feeling everybody feels like everybody's waiting to give their definitive date until the PlayStation and Xbox officially announce
Right.
their release dates. But it's a definite wait and see situation on that one.
And I wonder if that's out of respect
Yeah.
because they don't want to give people any more information than they already have. You know.
Well, yeah. Some of it could be respect. Some of it could be marketing deals.
Right.
Yeah, especially when it comes to Activision. Activision and Sony have had that marketing deal in place ever since like the second year that the PlayStation 4 was out. Call of Duty always gets exclusive stuff on PlayStation every year. So, yeah, it's just another one of those things. But yeah, we mentioned Gamescom. Yeah, Gamescom started out this week. No big like Uber top tier announcements. Just a couple of little things. I wrote down a couple of notes on things that I thought were interesting. Scarlet Nexus is a game I've seen before, but it's kind of cool, animated, cell shaded looking
Mm-hmm.
game that you know it looks interesting. And Crash Bandicoot, they announced these flashback levels,
Yeah.
basically. Like, you have to unlock them. Like, you have to find these hidden tapes in the levels, and when you collect that tape, you can play the level. And the levels are, like, from back in the day before the first Crash Bandicoot game where Neo Cortex was performing experiments on Crash.
Right.
So, I thought that was really cool. Uh,
That entire game is just
yeah,
chocked full of awesome content.
yeah.
Like just replayability and everything. Like they're doing great things with that.
No, yeah, I 100% agree with that. But yeah, that one comes out in October, so that'll definitely be something I'll be playing this fall. Uh, they showed off this game Outriders. We were talking before the show. I called it way too serious Borderlands. Is basically
I
what it
mean,
looks like. Yeah, like it would be interesting to see what the final product on that looks like because I don't think we actually saw a single bit of gameplay for that game,
mm,
even though it says it is a this year game.
yeah.
Uh, Another one, Little Nightmares 2, showed off a trailer and some footage. The first games always look cool. I bought the first game. I'm gonna play it here at some point. I'm sure for the backlog, but it's just one of
I
those
mean, the
things.
first game had a really good reception.
Yeah,
People loved it, but it's not really my wheelhouse. It does. I've watched a few people stream it and play it though. It's fun to watch. I just don't think it's fun to play.
yeah. But Star Wars Squadron showed off a little bit more footage, part of a mission. Talked about some of their game modes they're going to have.
Yeah.
I still haven't heard anything about a beta for that game. I believe it comes out in October. You would think that being an EA game, everything EA gets a beta at some point. Surely, surely you would think they would want to give it a test try, let people see what it is. Unless they're just absolutely scared that people aren't going to like it.
Well, like on top of that, it's a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
It's a PvP based centric game. They probably should have a beta to test servers.
Yeah.
I mean, if nothing else, if you're 100% content with your game and the mechanics and the play, you need to have a beta for stress testing servers. Like you just need to.
Yeah. Yeah, but you would also think though at this point EA, like everything EA does is basically online.
Yeah.
So, they probably have a pretty good idea of what how their servers need to go and but
Right.
but you
Like
still want to give people that opportunity to play it. Like,
right. My thing was is like how do they base who's gonna play this game though?
yeah. Yeah.
Like this is a completely different type of Star Wars game. Like I'm not sure if they know how many consumers are really going to hop on this. I'm
Mhm.
going to personally hop on it,
Yeah.
but I think that's why it needs tested. It doesn't matter how much experience you have if you're prepared for 250,000 people and
Mhm.
then 750,000 people decide to log on the first day,
Yeah.
your servers are going to die.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I'm just saying.
No, no, I agree. It's just yeah, you don't want to end up like Fall Guys and have server problems for like 2 weeks. But they killed it. They got they picked theirs up. But if you figure a company like EA is more likely to overshoot than undershoot, they'll be like, all right, we got servers for 10 million people week one. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I would be shocked if there's not some sort of beta.
I mean, they kind of do betas on everything
Yeah.
too. So, I mean, hope I want to play it. I don't care if I have to buy it to play the beta. Like, I just want to play the beta.
Well, I mean, that's how Tony Hawk has a demo where
Yeah.
you can play the warehouse, but you have to buy the game to get the demo. So, but the next one I got written down is Lego Star Wars. Of course, it's a Lego game. I love Lego games. Of course, I'll be playing
Right.
that. It was delayed until next year, so I think February, somewhere along those lines. And the Medal of Honor VR game looks cool. I'm gonna have to see some more on it before I'm willing, because I have a feeling that like the way they're talking it up, like a full-fledged VR, like a full experience, and even the multiplayer is VR. Like I have a feeling they're gonna charge a full 60 for that. So I'm gonna have to wait and see how that goes before I'm willing to throw down the money for that.
Um, I wish I could play VR.
Yeah.
I really do, but glasses really hinder me. So if a company can make a VR headset that is adjustable to basically contort around glasses, I'll
Well,
buy it.
well, I've been told that the PSVR is the most comfortable one to wear with glasses, but I'm still not
Right.
sure what the comfort level is.
Because the Oculus tried to kill me. Uh, it literally felt like it was pushing the arms of my glasses through my skull. It was pretty rough.
Yeah, so we'll hopefully see how that goes.
Mm.
Yeah, whenever it gets closer out. And the only other thing I have written down is Hearthstone. Oh yeah, Hearthstone. Wow. World of Warcraft finally announced when their expansion's coming out.
Yep.
Uh, you know, yeah, October 27th, Shadowlands comes out, and they had that cool, like, 4 or 5 minute. Looks like there's going to be a series of these little clips building up to the release of
Yeah.
Shadowlands. That's kind of neat. There was things I didn't know about, which, I haven't played that much WoW. I don't know much about the lore. I know who Uther is. I didn't know he was dead, but
He did.
he did. But
The
it sounds like he's on his way back. But
the lore um about this upcoming expansion's kind of crazy. So in the Shadowlands, it's basically time stops, right?
Mhm.
There's no time that passes in the Shadowlands. But supposedly, now I'm not so much excited for the lore that's going to come out during Shadowlands,
Mhm.
but the lore that comes in the expansion after. Because the heroes of Azeroth will be in the Shadowlands in Azeroth time for 10 years. What happens to Azeroth in that 10 years? It doesn't have its protectors.
Very good point. Yeah.
So they could literally do anything. It could be like another cataclysm to where it's like post-apocalyptic, Stormwinds burned down, Orgrimmar's burned down. Like, we don't know. It'll be great.
It'd be interesting to see, just from
Yeah.
even an outsider's perspective on that. Of where's the game going at this point?
You should look into the lore though. It's really good.
But yeah, that's most of the Gamecom stuff. I put some of it out into individual topics that we'll cover later in the show. But the next topic is Cyberpunk, much like its predecessor, The Witcher, is
Mm.
getting a buttload of free DLC.
Yep.
Uh, they did a lot of this, like I said, uh, Witcher 3. Most of it's cosmetics and extra weapons and hairstyles and stuff like that. And with all the customization that's going to be in Cyberpunk, I'm sure it's going to be a lot of stuff along those lines. Witcher did eventually end up having two big paid expansion DLCs that I've been told are almost as big as a game themselves.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see them not try to nickel and dime people for cosmetic stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Um, and like the my in my opinion, the best way to get a consumer to purchase DLC, whether it's a $30 DLC or a $15 DLC, give them free DLC, and
Yeah.
that incentivizes them to
Yeah.
buy DLC. So it's always a good marketing plan.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm sure there'll be all kinds of crazy stuff that'll be out there in it, and that game, it still looks like it's coming this year. That kind of they trolled people last week a little bit, like they were going to announce a delay, but no delay. So
Good
yeah,
old Rickroll.
yeah, good old Rick roll there on that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what all they give to people whenever it comes out. But the next one is just one I wanted to cover real quickly because I feel like we see more and more of this in the industry now, and that is the developers of Sinking City, the Cthulhu detective game that came out
Yeah.
last year, uh, or late 2018. Actually, I think is when it came out. It They are in a legal battle now with their publisher, The
Yep.
publishers tried to take the rights to the game. The publisher hasn't paid them anything since like early 2019. No royalties, like not even the money just for finishing the game, which they did on
Yep.
time. They hit all their milestones, like, and because of that, and because of the legal battle, the developer has reached out to Sony and Xbox, Sony, Microsoft, Steam, all those places, and now it is unavailable in those digital stores, and the only places you can buy the game now. Which I don't know how they're handling places like GameStop. I guess technically GameStop bought the stock, so
Right.
it's theirs to have. And then the used ones, they can't stop the used copies. But the only places you can buy the game right now is off their website, the developer's personal website, and through the Epic Game Store
I believe
and
so.
the Nintendo Switch store. And from what I play, because I own the game, like it's not top tier, but it it's fun, if especially if you
Right.
like that Lovecraft, Cthulhu-ish type setting. Uh, but for people that spent years working on a game, not to receive their fair share
Yeah.
of that game is very much so wrong.
It is. And like I think they tried to get out of the contract, and then the publisher like tried to blame or tried to say since like COVID was going on, they couldn't get out of the contract.
Yeah.
And I mean, man, they're just like grasping for straws at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like they know they fucked up.
Yeah, and then the publisher went out and like registered all these domains for the sinking city,
Yep.
and they put out a board game for the sinking city with saying they're the copyright holders, and it's going to be probably a decently ugly legal battle going forward.
I think developers are going to win. Like
Yeah,
there's no way they don't.
yeah.
Like just from the small articles that we read,
Hmm.
like there's so much evidence against the publisher, it's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, so hopefully that's another one of those things that works out, and everybody gets what they deserve in that
Yeah.
case. But
Like pay the people their money. Come
yeah,
on.
yeah, just
That's all you got to
pay
do.
them.
Just
Yeah,
pay them their money.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But the next bit of news we got this week is kind of a twofer. Uh, Fall Guys, their sales numbers have come out,
Mm.
and it was 7 million copies sold
Mhm.
on Steam,
Yeah.
and it is officially the most purchased PlayStation Plus game of all time.
Yeah.
And they I left this out of the Gamescom's coverage because I know we would be talking about this. They announced season 2 at Gamescom with more games,
Oh yeah.
and a rework of some of the ones that are already in there to have more of a medieval theme to them. Because
Yep.
the season the pass that's coming with that is medieval themed.
Which is amazing,
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah, knights and dragon costumes. Yeah. You got to
Well,
have that stuff.
I want the little wizard costume so I can run around looking like Vivi from Final Fantasy 9.
Yeah, that's good. Maybe I'll finally change out of my owl costume.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've just been it's become that it game. You know
Oh yeah.
that game that everybody's gonna want. And I wouldn't be surprised at some point, like if there eventually is a physical release of the game with like a bunch of exclusive costumes or something packed in with
Yeah.
it or something like that. It just seems like the type of game that's made perfectly for something like that.
Oh, I agree. And if they do this right, their cosmetics will be as big, if not bigger than Fortnite's.
Yeah,
Like they have a game that they can really do some awesome stuff with
yeah,
cosmetically. So we'll see what happens. Like they could even do custom animations the uh for the cosmetics, like the
Yeah.
skins and stuff.
Yep.
It They could do a lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they've been retweeting this Twitter account that started a 365-day challenge of designing a new outfit every day for Fall Guys, and they're on like
Okay.
day 12 already. And today was like a Joker outfit.
That's
The
cool.
yeah, for a walking Phoenix, like a walking Phoenix Joker, not just like a straight up Joker. But yeah, uh, it's just one of those games that's kind of taken everybody by storm.
Oh man, could you imagine if they partnered up with like DC and Marvel and got all those skins in
It's
there?
gonna happen at some
It
point.
has to.
It has to happen. I mean, I understand when we'll be talking about it here in a second. Who Marvel and DC are both teamed up with right now. It
Yeah.
seems to be in a big way. But yeah, it'll happen at some point.
No,
Absolutely.
not only that, I want some Star Wars cosmetics because I want to go around looking like a Wookiee.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
that'd be great.
Absolutely. You know what? I'm surprised there's not a bear costume in the game. I haven't seen
Yeah.
it in the store yet. I haven't checked every day. But yesterday there was a lot of tomatoes running around. So,
A
yeah,
ton of tomatoes.
yeah. But yeah, we mentioned this a second ago. The game we would be talking about, Fortnite has, because of their ongoing legal dispute with Apple and Android, has split the game environments now. So used to be you could play cross-platform with all kinds of different people and stuff now, and now the Android and iOS users are their own thing for now,
Yeah.
while this legal dispute is going on. So if you had cross-play set up, your your phone is a completely different thing now from your your Switch version or your Xbox version. Nothing carries over. But and we did mention Marvel. They did announce their next season pass. It's getting ready to start next week, and it is full of Marvel characters.
I may have to start playing Fortnite again.
Yeah,
So
like Iron Man, Captain America, Thor.
yeah.
I saw Mystique, Wolverine, Storm, and the way they made it sound to me is they're all in the pass. So
Which is amazing.
yeah, yeah. Because like the Batman one was like an individual skin you had to buy. Aquaman was tied to the pass, but you had to buy Harley Quinn and you had to buy Catwoman separately. So
Oh, the Flash is gonna be there too.
Flash.
I'm I'm almost positive I seen. Did I not see it, or was that
Well, the
already in
the
there?
Flash would be DC.
Yeah, see, I figured that, but I could almost swore I seen somebody in a red costume that looked damn near the Flash. I need to find this again. All right.
Like, did it happen? Oh, it happened a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an old skin.
Maybe it was Iron Man that I seen that I was just like, that looks a lot like the Flash in this game. It was. It
Yeah.
was 100% Iron Man.
Yeah. But yeah, I got my Aquaman last season. I literally only bought the pass to go in and get Aquaman. Being the DC person that I am, and I bought
Right.
Catwoman. So, but now you can fight Batman against Wolverine.
Right?
Have your own Marvel versus DC crossover right here in Fortnite.
I mean, who wins there?
Hmm. Probably Batman.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
You're gonna say probably Batman, but you can't really kill Logan.
well, Batman wouldn't try to kill him. He would just try to subdue him in some way.
I mean, he could get out. He got like claws, bro. He could just be like, "Shink, fuck this shit. I'm
This is
out."
a fight now. No, I'm just kidding. Podcast over. No, it's good. But yeah. So it looks like as this legal battle goes on, that game's going to be changing in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
But our next bit of news this week is our free PlayStation Plus games for next month. This is something we haven't really covered in the past, but they're definitely knocking it out of the park, I think, this month. And they're giving everybody Street Fighter V,
Yep.
which is awesome.
It is.
I'm sure it'll pick that community right back up, and
Mm.
be a lot more people playing it now.
Like
And
I'm gonna download it
yeah,
like as soon as it drops.
and the other one is one that me and some of my Destiny clanmates are actually excited about playing together, and that's PUBG.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of my clan is PS4 based. A lot of them don't play PC games. So,
Well, okay, yeah.
and the fact that they've added custom matches now, so we can go in as a clan, set up a game,
Have a good time.
and just all of us drop in, probably put it on Sandhook, one of the small maps. And you can go in, you could decide what weapons drop, what levels of armor
Yeah.
drop, just have some fun with it. And I'm sure that'll be good for that community too. Even though like I played it about a month and a half ago before I got rid of the game because I didn't have anybody to play with at the time. And like it didn't take any longer to get into a game than it did on PC. So
Right. Of course. Yeah.
yeah. So that there's still a community out there for that one. For Street Fighter, Street Fighter's a little bit older now, and you know those fighting game communities tend to die off pretty fast because they tend sometimes to move from one game to the next. So
Yeah. But I'm super excited for the Street Fighter. Street
yeah,
Fighter is one of my favorite fighters. Um, I've been thinking about getting Tekken lately too, but I'm super excited for Street Fighter.
yeah, we'll have to give it a go when it comes out.
I'm gonna beat that ass.
It's probably like
Probably.
yeah. Let's be honest. But our next bit of news is a former Halo writer has returned to Halo Infinite, which to me just goes more into what we said last week about this game has more problems than anybody could ever imagine.
Oh yeah,
Like, why are you bringing in writers this deep into development?
that's literally what I have wrote down.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna bring him in,
Uh.
he should, and he's the project lead. Not only he's the project lead for the campaign, I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
If you're gonna bring him in as a project lead, that tells me you have no campaign. Currently, you have no real story. You
Yeah.
can't.
No, I 100% agree with you.
Like, what are they doing? They show us a game, and then they're like, "Oh, but wait, there's not more." Never mind.
So,
Sorry.
sorry, guys. Even though
Yeah,
we've been developing this game for, like, Halo 5 came out second year of Xbox generation, so 7 years ago,
I believe so. I'm gonna look
six,
that.
7 years ago, since the last Halo game came out. When like when Bungie was in charge, they could churn out a game like every year, every other year.
So Halo 5 dropped October 27th, 2015. So it's been almost 5
Yeah,
years.
next month, a month or so away from 5 years.
And they from what I took from them hiring a project lead,
Yeah,
they have no campaign or even a story outline in 5 years.
yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah, that's definitely rough, and that tells me now that I don't even think this game is a 2021 game at this point.
Mm-mm.
Like that, this game was originally we were supposed to be getting this game 2 months from now,
Yeah.
and now I don't even know if we're going to get it in 2021.
Mm-mm. Like there's no way, unless they had a core campaign. They
Mhm.
knew a direction they wanted to go with it, and they just wanted to put him in the head of producing what they expect. If they already have, like, I don't know, a basic core foundation for their campaign, and they kind of know the direction it's going to go, but not 100%. Maybe we could get it like end of next year.
Mhm.
I don't know. So it's going to be rough because even if they had a campaign, bringing him in, he's probably going to rewrite most of it.
Yeah, yeah. The bringing in a new writer tells me a lot of changes are in store.
Oh yeah,
But
but that also kind of makes you wonder why
yeah,
were they not happy with what they had, or had they even not started on that? We don't really know.
yeah.
It's
Well,
there's
it's one of those things where sometimes that does happen. Like with the original Destiny, when Destiny One launched, that year one story
yep,
was only put together like 6-7 months before the
yeah,
game
yeah,
shipped. It was way bigger than that, and they started chopping things out and brought in another writer, and took some things, threw some other things away. Like some of the elements that were talked about in that first year, it actually looks like we're starting to get in the game now. But
right.
you know. Like what if this guy comes in? What all is he going to change? What all is he just going to have to reuse things that they've already done and kind of redo the story around them, or So it would be interesting to see when we finally get that game. But yeah, like it, it might hit 2021. If it hits 2021, I would feel like it's coming out in a rushed form, probably.
Right. No,
Yeah,
I
that
completely
that'll
agree.
that'll be very basic when it comes out.
But let's be honest, real quick. From the gameplay they showed us,
Uh-huh.
we knew that it was going to be a while.
Yeah.
Like the game looked awful for new gen or current modern games. Like it looked
Yeah.
like Halo 4.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of it almost like sounded like they were making the excuse of where it was a cross-gen game, it wouldn't be top
Yeah.
tier, but it seems to be a bit of a disaster, and I wonder if this Halo goes down like Halo 5 did. Are 343 going to be making these games anymore? Are they going to bring in another studio? You know, where
I
does it
I
go from
don't
here?
I don't think I don't think they'd be able to make another game.
Nah.
Like at that point they've lost trust and they've lost a lot of reputation.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean there's no way they're they're gonna be put in charge of Halo whatever.
Yeah, Infinite is what it's called now, but yeah.
I mean yeah. Yeah. Oh man, it was a precursor. It's gonna take an infinitely long amount of time for them to get the fucking game in.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, it's what it's starting to feel like. Yeah.
Yeah.
But our next bit of news is we got some more information on Gotham Knights. Some
Hmm.
more information about what the game is. The game is not a game service game. They made that very clear in the
Hmm.
article. And the game can basically be played any way you want it. Yeah, things have levels on them, but that is dynamic to what you are.
Yep.
And that's also to show you, like, yeah, these guys right here might all be level 10, but these guys over here might be level 11, which is your actual level. So that tells you these 10s over here are like your trash mobs, these 11s are more heavy tanky guys, and the boss is probably like a 12. you know
Yeah, I mean they specifically said like you were hitting at there's no level gating.
yeah.
Like you can go to any area, it doesn't matter and level there. What they seem to say too is like the only purpose in their leveling system really other than like upgrades and stuff like that, but for
Yeah.
a story the only reason in leveling is that levels unlock certain encounters. And being able to level anywhere is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's a main story, but there's
Mhm.
also a bunch of villain stories, is how
Yeah,
they
yeah.
refer to them as. So that tells me the main game has a set of villains. That's probably the Court of Owl stuff we saw.
Yeah, yeah.
And then all your Mr. Freezes and Riddlers and all of them, they're all side stories that you play out however you want at whatever level you want.
Yeah,
It could, which is really cool to me.
yeah. Um Something that was weird to me though.
Mm.
So they mentioned co-op and we know this game's a co-op game,
Yeah.
but it's only two-person co-op.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that was a little off-putting at first because I thought for sure that it was going to be 4 person.
Same.
Yeah, 4 characters, 4 people. Maybe at some point they tune it for that, but maybe they're just more interested in getting the game out with the basics of co-op, and then there's some higher end game activities that come out at a later date that are 4 player or something like that.
Right. But like my thing was is like don't even make it a mandatory 4 player. Why
Yeah,
not just make it a 2 to
yeah,
4 player
yeah.
co-op? And I'm sure down the road they'll probably have 4 player co-op, but I mean what it kind of sounded like to me is like you can be the same character,
Hmm.
right? It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Like if you and I were playing, we could both be the same character.
Yes.
So what I feel like they tried to do is like for the same character it has the possibility of being absolutely broken as fuck.
Uh,
So that may have been their way of negating that with only allowing 2 people. I don't know. It's just thoughts. That may be what they're going for. I don't know.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, it very well could be, but it's another one of those wait and see. It's already a day one purchase for me. It is how it is.
Of course, I understand.
Yeah, but like I said, we'll just have to wait and see what comes out of it. But I think it will be, I think it'll be a very fun and successful game.
Well, I think we touched on this last week, right? Yeah.
Mm,
And I said it looks very Odyssey like.
yeah.
And Odyssey was a huge put off to me because it was level gated all the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as they said there was absolutely no level gating, I was
Yeah.
like 75% more willing to purchase the game and play it after that.
Yeah.
So,
And they mentioned that the characters are fully customizable.
yep.
Crafting items, stuff like that. And you can go back and play different counters at different levels. Everything's
Yeah.
replayable. So when you play through at level 10, you've only got some basic gears, a little bit of leveling and stuff like that. You probably come back at like level 25 and have all kinds of cool gadgets and do everything completely different.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, like builds and stuff, I thought it was super cool. They mentioned like we could be
Yeah.
playing the same character but running 2 completely different builds.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I mean that gives you a reason to play 2 of the same character.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Absolutely. But our next bit of news this week is another one from Gamescom. This game interests me, which is why I left it out by itself. It's called Genshin Impact.
Yeah,
It's a very weeby looking game. I'll admit that,
but it's
but
beautiful.
yeah, it's beautiful, and it's definitely something I want to check out. And we know that the game is officially coming this year now, so
Hmm.
it would be something to check out when the fall rolls around. And I just kind of wanted to throw that in there. If you guys want to check it out, make sure to check out the trailer
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you know give it a give it a
Um,
good go.
Honestly, I've seen a lot of anime art style games,
Hmm.
and I don't know who their animators are, but those guys need a raise.
Yeah,
This is the cleanest looking anime title I've ever seen in my life. It
yeah.
just looks great. Um, I don't know. It kind of transports you into that. It's so good. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like you can get immersed in like realistic environments and stuff, but they kind of like immerse you in their world and just all from the art style.
Yeah,
They did a really good job.
yeah. It's definitely a very pretty game. And like I said, I'll be checking it out when it comes out.
I
So,
probably will as well.
but that's all the basic news we got for this week. So now that we're on, through all that, we can talk about what we've been playing this week. And for me, it's pretty simple this week. This week, I played a lot of Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Like an ungodly amount of Destiny 2, learning new raids with the new clan and getting some exotic quests done and all that fun stuff. And some Fall Guys and some Friday the 13th, which I hadn't touched Friday the 13th since it came out. Like, like
Right.
right after it came out was the last time I tried it. And it's a fun game when you have people to play with.
It,
Like,
is it better now?
Yeah, I would say it's absolutely better.
Because it was super rough early.
Yeah.
Like it was super rough.
No, they changed a lot of things like uh, counselors can't kill each other now and stuff like
Right.
that unless they run you over with a car, which is a thing that can happen. Uh,
That's hilarious. Did you experience that?
I had a friend or another person I play with that did experience that. They fixed the car, they got all the parts for it, and rolled up to his house that they knew he was in, honked the horn so he'd come out, and like he figured, oh yeah, they're gonna let me escape with him, and he came out and they ran him over.
That's actually hilarious. I just watched a like gang karma video on YouTube yesterday,
hmm
and it had a Friday the 13th directly involving a car. So this person was playing a chick, fixes the car, gets in the car, starts going down the road. And you see another survivor come out, and they're like, "Man, help! Let me in the car! Fuck this guy!" And the dude just drives on by
hmm
and is kind of like looking behind them at the survivor,
Uh
swerves into a fence, breaks the car.
huh.
Okay, it gets better. The guy, the other survivor run into the car,
hmm
and this motherfucker just trying to crank it and get it started. He finally gets it started. The survivor that's outside makes it to the passenger door.
hmm
This dude pulls out again, leaves the guy. He was right there. And then Jason literally walked around a corner, smashes the car, and then kills that bitch in the car. That's karma, boys. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm
yeah,
just saying.
yeah, no, that's straight up karma right there. That person got what they deserved.
Yep.
Uh,
Don't be a dick on that game.
but so since I didn't remember like a lot about the game and stuff like that, I had set myself to play as counselor only. You know, still trying to get myself straightened out before I flip over to the Jason side. But some of those Jasons are kind of crazy OP. I got two people that I've been playing with that like whenever they're Jason, you're just like,
It's over.
so it's just bad. But there was one game that they were giving me shit for, but you know what? It worked. I was the last person. All right. Like there's always a 90% chance you're gonna die in that game. Is what it feels like. And
Yeah.
I hid in a bathroom for like 10 minutes, and not only did Jason come to the bathroom door and put a hole in it and did not see me, he got distracted by somebody else that threw firecrackers at him in the house and didn't come back to the house. And then one of my teammates ran into my house, brought Jason back with him, and he's like, I didn't see anybody here earlier, but I should go ahead and check all the rooms one more time just to be sure. And sure enough, he found me then.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I was like, "Come on, man! You brought that.
Never.
You brought that on me."
Oh yeah. You never lead people to teammates, bro.
hmm
Come on.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We've been having a lot of fun with it this week. So kind of
That's
our
great.
relaxing game after some Destiny. But yeah, that's. I don't think I've played anything else this week. Like played a little bit of Metal Gear 4. I think
Mm.
earlier in the week, but that's pretty much it. I didn't get too far into it. I basically re-downloaded the game because I want the platinum trophy in it, and I
Right.
know I'm looking at like 4 solid playthroughs. So
Yeah.
yeah, so oh excuse me, I've
I
been
feel
working
you.
on that for a little while. I don't know what that was. It was pain. It was like a burp. It was like a burp and a sneeze and my eyes watered and I don't know. It just hurt. But yeah, that's what I've been playing this week. What have you been playing this week?
A shitload of Diablo 3.
Oh,
Like a ton of Diablo 3.
uh,
I've already fully geared my Tempest Rush Monk. I'm trying to gear a Corpse Explosion Necro now
uh-huh.
for RGK. Um, yeah, I've played a lot of that. Of course, Rocket League.
Yeah.
I've played some Fall Guys this week on PS and on PC.
hmm
What else have I played? I think I played a little bit of WoW at the beginning. I played HOTS this morning at 4 a.m. Uh, and then I played Rocket League till 6.
Oh,
So
okay. So you
yeah,
got a full evening in, basically.
yeah, a long evening of gaming in. But yeah, I think that's all I've really played. I'm really digging Diablo though.
Yeah, well,
I'll
I'm
probably
curious, what made you go back after all this time away? Just, hey, let's
I
give
don't
it a
know.
go? Nah.
Yeah, and I'm having a good time with it.
Yeah.
Diablo is one of those mindless grind games, unless you're
Mhm.
playing hardcore, and then it's just anxiety grind games. Um, but no, I think it's just a good way to waste some time.
Yeah.
Just run through some riffs with some friends and just have a good time.
Well, I mean, that's definitely good. That you went back to it. Yeah, like are they in like a middle of a season right now, or did you get? Is this the beginning of a season, or
I think the season just started.
okay?
I'm here. I will look it up really quick. I'm pretty sure the season's pretty close to just starting.
Oh, silence. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's been a long time since I played it. Actually, I owned it on PSC and PlayStation 4. I ended up playing it more on PlayStation 4 for the simple fact that the nice 4-player couch co-op that's in it. Like
Hmm.
a lot of people have considered that to be the superior, because of the drop in, drop out couch co-op.
Okay, so I think we're about halfway through.
Okay, all right.
It
And their
started
seasons,
July 21st.
okay, so yeah, their seasons are pretty long, so
I think 3 months,
yeah.
3 months or so.
So you got like a month and a half or more left.
Yeah,
So yeah,
plenty of time.
yeah.
Plenty of time.
Oh man, excuse me, guys. Oh, what's wrong with me today?
I'm in the same boat, buddy.
but our last topic for this week is another top five. We've been doing anticipated games, games we enjoy, bad games we played. This week we're going to change it up a little bit and do our top five animes. So
Yeah, I'm super cool with that. How about you start it off this time?
yeah, you know what? I will start it off this time. I feel like my top fives, some of them are pretty mainstream, but
Some of mine are too.
or most of mine are. But so number five is Death Note. I absolutely love that show. I've watched it through several times now, and I just enjoyed the shit out of it. And not so like in these later watch throughs, I realized that the second half of the show, after Light dies or after L dies, uh, in the other character comes in. I don't like that as much, but the whole series is just an interesting concept. Basically,
Yeah.
yeah, a book falls to Earth that's not supposed to be here, and when you write people's names in it, they die. So he basically becomes his own like evil superhero.
Becomes a god,
Yeah,
essentially.
basically, yeah. He, I believe he referred to himself as much several times. But it's definitely an anime for anybody that's never watched it. Absolutely has to watch it. Check it out. You'll enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah. So, what's your number five?
So I didn't put these in order, so
Uh,
I've been looking at my list and trying to put them in order.
okay.
So I think number five is going to be Darling in the Franks. Um, I don't know if you've ever watched that one.
No.
Okay, so you need to watch Darling in the Franks. It has a very wild storyline.
Mm-hmm.
It's super good. It's relatively new in comparison to like super good animes because we're used to like the old school
Mm-hmm.
OGs, like staple animes.
Yeah.
I believe Darling in the Franxx is going to be one of those staple animes. It just came out pretty recently though.
All right. So, yeah, I might have to give that. I wrote it down, so I'll have to look it up and check it out later. But so my number four is probably I'd say it's probably the most popular anime in the world right now. and that's My Hero Academia. It's just, yeah, I got into it late. I got into it last year.
Right.
On you and another friend of ours recommendations, and I just bulldozed through it.
It's
And
amazing.
yeah, yeah, it's just the concept of raising heroes and having
Yeah.
quirk abilities, and it's a very emotional show, and yeah, which they just recently, I believe, in the last couple of days, I think they came out the OVAs that lead into next
Mhm.
season. I haven't watched them yet, but
Haven't either.
I'm sure they're very good, and I've have an idea what's happening next season. Like, I know some people that have read the manga, and it sounds like we're going to be losing some main characters next year. So it would be interesting to see how that
Yeah.
goes. But yeah, it's just like it's the anime right now. Absolutely. The top tier as far as I'm concerned, and a lot of other people are concerned. Or looking at the
Yeah.
numbers.
It's another one of those super top tier shows.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So what do you got for number 4?
and you know what? I actually don't have that on my list,
Yeah.
even though I love that
Uh,
show. Number 4, Dead Man Wonderland. Um, it is a 12 episode
mm-hmm.
show. So it's just one basic season.
Yeah.
To give you like just a little bit of insight, it's kind of superhero or superpower, not so much superhero
Mm-hmm.
at all. Superpower centered around the use of blood.
Mm.
It's very odd. So in essence, there's this prison where they house all these people, and the subsections and below house these fights between these people with superpowers that it's wild, man.
Yeah.
You should watch it.
Yeah.
One of the first scenes in the show is an entire classroom getting beheaded. So have fun with that. Bro, it's wild. Write
Wow.
that down and watch it.
Okay.
Write it down and watch
Well, what's that one again?
it. Dead Man Wonderland.
Dead Man Wonderland. Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's got one of the best intro themes too. Like you have to listen to that like after this. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Okay. Yeah. So my number 3 is Psychopaths.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I really like that show. It's another one I just watched here in the last couple of years, and really enjoy. Like, the characters are okay. Like, the characters are just kind of part of it. Well, the concept is what really gets me. You live in a world where emotions are regulated, basically, and your emotions, basically, how they look at it determine whether you're going to be a good person or a bad person.
Yep.
You know, so your crime coefficient, they believe, goes up the more emotional you are, and they'll either do two things. If you become emotional, this group, the group that you follow in the show, it's their job to arrest or in some cases kill these people, because if your crime coefficient goes so high, they believe that you're not fixable and that you just die.
Murder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of what's the word I'm looking for? That kind of coincides with one of my favorite books, The
hmm
Giver.
hmm
Um, so in The Giver, people take this medicine that kills their emotions, basically. And if they stop taking their medicine and start having emotion, they're exiled. So it's
Yeah.
pretty close.
Yeah, and also, like, that reminds me of the video game, We Happy Feet.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, very much so. In that vein, the way you were talking with the medicine. But yeah,
Hmm.
just psychopath, and then as the series goes on, you find out what that they didn't know how the system works, that decides. Basically, they point their gun at these people, and you can see their crime coefficient. But and depending on what their level is of what the gun will actually do.
Right.
But it's found out later that the everything that's actually, it's a series of brains. Basically, it's a hive mind that
Yeah.
determines people's crime coefficients, and you find out that there are some corrupt elements in that hive mind that
Mm-hmm.
kind of have their own agendas.
Yep.
But it's very much an interesting show, and the lead character in the show, she can go out there. A lot of people that work for this unit, eventually their crime coefficients go up because of the things they are doing to people. You know,
Right.
even though it's their job and it's in the law for them to do this.
Mm-hmm.
It messes with their crime coefficients. But the female lead of the show, her crime coefficient never changes. Like it's super super low, like unheard of low for anybody, much less somebody that does this work.
Right.
But I really enjoyed that show, and I hope we get more at some point. But so what do you got for your number three?
Uh, I've been sitting here looking at these two, and I'm not sure which one I want to put at number three and number two because I know which one's number one.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it sounds like these two are pretty close, so you just consider them interchangeable.
all right, I'll take that. Samurai X slash Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Have you ever seen the Samurai X stuff?
Some of it, yeah.
Yeah. So I have a copy of the DVDs
Hmm.
of Samurai X
Yeah.
that's actually English subtitled, which to my knowledge there wasn't a lot made.
Uh,
But for anybody that doesn't know, Samurai X is basically the precursor to Rurouni Kenshin. It tells you how he got his scars on his face, how he got cursed. That way, if he takes a life, he bleeds from those scars.
yeah.
Um, and then Rurouni Kenshin's kind of his redemption story. He vowed never to like kill anybody again, and then he gets put in some like really shitty spots. Yeah, it's kind of like your general samurai esque uh anime,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the one that kind of like kicked home for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I dig it. If you ever want to borrow those DVDs, let me know.
Okay. Yeah, I might actually give them a try.
Yeah,
But
they're great.
my number two is a show that another one of those shows I've watched both seasons of multiple times in both movies, and really like the whole universe of stuff. And there is a new series now. I've watched some of the episodes. It's okay, but that's Ghost in the Shell standalone complex.
Never watched any of them.
Yeah. No, I absolutely enjoyed that. The first Ghost in the Shell movie. It's one of those all-time anime classics. Top tier. If we're looking at just movies and not shows. It's
Yeah.
definitely it's definitely one of those gateway drugs for a lot of people into the world of anime. And yeah, this is set several years after those movies. The whole unit's back together. It's just an amazing show. They have some really interesting storylines through it, through both seasons, and I recommend anybody check it out that hasn't checked it out. So
Yeah, I haven't watched any of those things. The first anime like movie
mm-hmm.
I ever watched was Akira.
uh,
Um, and that kind of sparked me into
yeah,
anime. But since you mentioned like Ghost in the Shell's one of those old school like top tier movies that
yeah,
kind of drags everybody in, I kind of want to go watch it now.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just it's just good. And
Yeah,
even me, I was personally excited when they did the live action one a couple of years ago with Scarlett Johansson. I was all about that. But so yeah, and you've already said your number two, right? That those two.
no, no,
Oh no,
no.
okay. Oh, I thought okay.
I
Uh,
bundled those together because
because that one leads into the other. Okay, yeah,
yeah,
that
they're
makes sense.
basically the same thing.
Yeah.
I actually did that for my number one as well. So sorry.
No, it's fine.
Um, but number two is The Rising of the Shield Hero. I love that fucking anime so much.
Mm-hmm.
Have you never watched it?
Mm-mm.
Oh my god. Okay. So these four people are are transported to a mythical world, right? Of course. I mean,
Yeah.
it happens in every anime.
Yeah.
that's centered around that kind of stuff. One's a spear user, one's
Mhm.
a bow user, one's a sword user, and one is a shield hero.
Okay.
The shield hero has no attacks other than the shield, and he gets shit on, and not like shit on skill wise,
Mhm.
but he gets shit on by the people in the city he's in, by the other heroes that have been sent there, because there was this void that had opened up, like a tear in time space, right,
Mhm.
in this world, and these monsters come down, and the four uh blessed heroes that get teleported there are are basically tasked with saving their world.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of plot in there, how like down the line you realize that the shield hero was never supposed to show up there but in another city. And there was some like bullshit politics that happened behind the scenes that caused all this bullshit dealing with him. um and then you get to watch the shield hero, because he had to literally fight for everything. He didn't have a weapon, he had a shield.
Mhm.
And then you get to watch him like outmatch every fucking body, like everybody. The last episode is fucking insane. There's like 6 or 7 episodes in there that are just insane, like that are the fights are amazing. You get to watch him be creative as shit. It's super super cool.
I might actually have to check that one out too.
Yeah, it's good. I just gave you 3 anime. Have fun.
So my number one is just another one of those classic, what I consider classic gateway animes, even though I know some people haven't watched it. Uh, and that's Cowboy Bebop. You know, your space bounty hunters. You know, there's no other way to put it. It's just a ragtag team of people that kind of come together due to circumstances. All great characters and just a lot of fun.
I was talking to you earlier. I
Yeah,
haven't watched a ton of it.
yeah,
But it's definitely on my to watch list. It's been on my to watch list for a long time, so
yeah.
I might as well just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, there's also a movie that ties into it too. So,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. But
Um,
yeah, it's definitely that anime that like every once in a while I'll just get the urge and rewatch it. I don't know how many times I've watched it through. It is another one of those one series animes. 23 episodes I think.
oh, is that it?
Yeah, and it's just, yeah, 23 in the movie. But and the movie actually takes place like technically I think four before the last three episodes. Like,
Yeah,
it has a slot in there for it to go forward. But yeah, it's definitely one of those top tier ones worth watching.
yeah. I definitely have to check it out. It seems right up my alley for anime too.
Yeah,
Something like casual but casually serious.
yeah,
Yeah, that's super up my alley. Um, but yeah, my number one now.
yeah,
Um, Dragon Ball Z and Super,
yeah,
like easy. I
yeah.
grew up on that. I watched it every day after school.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's I just finished all of Super not too long ago. Um, I know I
Yeah.
was late to that party, but
No, I'm actually even later. I haven't finished it. Like, I'm only about 40 some episodes in, I think.
it's good.
Yeah. But yeah, I absolutely need to finish it, and it felt like such an obvious one that I tried to leave it off my list. Like, it's an honorable mention for me because yeah, it was that for a very very large amount of people that didn't even know what anime was. Dragon Ball was the first one they ever saw. You know.
Yeah, and I think it. I don't. To be fair,
Uh huh.
I think Sailor Moon was the first anime I ever saw because it came on directly before Dragon Ball Z.
Oh.
So, um, I think that's how I remember it. It could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It'll always hold a special place in my part or in my heart. Fuck Goku, Vegeta forever. Um, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like
No, no.
Akira Toriyama. write him some good fucking parts. Stop leaving him out. There's a whole half of your consumers that pay for your shit
Yeah.
that want to see him prevail, and you keep dropping your pants and taking a shit on him. Let him do some work. God damn it.
Well,
Hey,
me and
now that
you,
rant's over.
yeah. Well, yeah,
Oh
me and you have talked about it though in the past too. You know, Vegeta and Trunks are my two favorite characters in the series
yeah.
too. So you know, that's why there's like 15 Vegeta Funko Pops right here in this one section. Uh,
My Vegeta one's not in here.
uh,
But no, like, sure, he's a whiny crybaby bitch,
yeah.
but he works through it and he works harder than anybody else. So,
Well,
hey,
I would say in Super that he's very much so not that anymore. You know.
he's not.
Yeah.
It's like he matured past that.
Yeah.
And another reason to say fuck Goku is Goku has had like zero character development.
Yeah.
Like
Just,
Goku is still Goku.
yeah. No, I agree with that.
Goku doesn't really act any different from the way he did in the Saiyan saga.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I could agree with that. Absolutely.
But Vegeta has like became a completely different character at this point. So like fuck you, Akira Toriyama. Make Vegeta cool.
But I mean, that's both of our list. I know you have some honorable mentions. I got some honorable mentions. You want to go with yours first?
Sure, the first season of Sword Art Online.
No, actually, I haven't watched season 3 yet, but Sao is definitely one of my honorable mentions, and you know it jumped around a little bit too much in the other seasons. But even though I did enjoy the second season, like I said, I still haven't watched the third one. But you know, it's another one of those for the newer generation of people getting into anime. It's one of those ones that they've all probably seen something of at some point. You know, either that or Attack on Titan or My Hero Academia. Even though I've never personally watched Attack on Titan, the animation style didn't appeal to me. But yeah, Sao seems like another one of those gateways for the newer generation of people.
I remember when Sword Art came out, I was working for an ambulance authority in Logan, and a night before a BLS shift, I watched the entire first season
Mm,
of Sword Art. I didn't go to sleep.
yeah,
I stayed up until I had to leave.
yeah,
So, I don't know. That first season's got a special place in my heart. The second season was eh, but I think me personally, the reason why I think the second season is meh is because I had such high expectations and it
ah,
just kind of didn't hit there for me. So that's why it's an honorable mention because I included one season, not the entire series.
yeah. Uh, Another one for me would be Full Metal Alchemist, both series, Brotherhood and the regular one. Like I absolutely love those.
Never watched them.
Yeah, no, they're great. And another one, which I'm listing it as an honorable mention because I think it's starting to really get its hooks into me. Is one I just recently started watching. It's called Seven Deadly Sins.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it'll get you.
yeah. I'm about 8 or 9 episodes in so far, and I dig it pretty good.
Oh, just wait. If you're
yeah,
that shallow in, just wait
yeah.
till you get a little bit
Yeah,
further.
yeah, I've heard. I've heard that it just continues to get better and better. Yeah, so far there's only 3 sins together,
Mm-hmm.
and I've already had a couple of those. Oh, he's dead. Oh no, that's awesome. Yeah, it's cool.
I I have a favorite sin. I love Escanor. You don't know who that
Yeah.
is yet. You will learn who that is, and you will like your first introduction to him. You'll probably never forget. Escanor is fucking horrifying.
Okay.
Like, not as in stature or the way he looks,
Yeah.
but like just his power is
Yeah.
absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
So, just be excited for Escanor. Uh, no, I have one more on my honorable mentions and Trigun. Trigun's super
Oh,
good.
yeah. That's actually one of the ones I've never watched all of. Like I've seen pieces of it, but I've never.
It's like 23 episodes.
Yeah.
Give it a try. It's super good. I think you'll like it. The only reason I watched it is because Dana uh Dana basically forced me to watch it.
Well,
'Cause I didn't watch it for like
yeah,
a. He gave me the DVDs, and I didn't watch it for like a year, and then I finally just kind of buckled down and was
yeah,
like, you know what, I'll fucking watch it under pressure because he never shut up about it.
yeah. But I mean, let's be honest. His online name is Bashy. You know.
Right.
So it's another one of those things. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Did
Oh, I have another honorable
okay?
mention.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I completely forgot about this. Tokyo Ghoul.
Never seen it.
Okay,
Eh,
so write that one down as well.
okay. No, I'm aware of it. I know of its existence. I've just never watched it.
You need to watch Tokyo Ghoul. It's
Uh,
great. Um, it has some of the best character development I've ever seen in an anime. Your main character like completely changes.
yeah.
Like 180 almost. Maybe like a 520.
Yeah.
Like that like he turns 360 and he's like, nope, that wasn't enough, and he goes another, you know?
Yeah.
Um, no, it's super good. You should definitely like get into it and watch it.
Yeah. No, I'll actually have to check that out. But I think that's everything we got for this week.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Short one this week, but we're getting ready to step into the fall where all kinds of craziness will be happening. And
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll have more stuff to talk about next week. But one thing I did want to mention, we usually don't
Mhm.
talk that much about movies on the show right now. We're starting to lean a little bit more into the anime, but not even just movies in general, just people in general.
Right.
Is the passing of Chadwick Boseman, the
Mm.
actor, last night at age 46 from colon cancer.
Yeah.
uh, you know, uh, a lot of people, just saw it. The Black Panther. Black Panther was, very much so transcendent movie in
Mhm.
the way it worked, and showing that certain characters can appeal to anybody, and yeah, he was just a great guy. A good person. Did a lot for charity.
Yeah.
He played Jackie Robinson in the Jackie Robinson movie. I know you're not a sports person, but Jackie Robinson's just one of those big time people in the world, and
Believe it or not,
uh,
I am a sports person.
oh, okay.
More than you are aware of,
Oh,
apparently.
okay. Yeah, apparently. And but yeah, it's just it's sad to see him go. You wonder about what's the future for the Black Panther franchise
Right.
at this point, and I almost don't want T'Challa recast. I don't want just to say something happened to him and like his sister take the mantle or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. That's
yeah.
probably like fuck the recast. You probably shouldn't recast. But no, I think his sister taking the mantle would be the best course of action for that.
Huh. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. I think the sister is the best course of action. Going forward. That it's another one of those types of deals, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Hmm.
Yeah, because that I believe that movie was supposed to technically go into production in November.
Yeah.
So we know that's not happening now, and it's just another one of those great actors that'll be missed. Not a lot. Like I said, there too many good movies, too good of a person to be gone this early.
Yeah.
But it's just another one of those crap parts of 2020, unfortunately.
Sadly.
Yeah, but I hate to end the show on a sad note, but that is basically all we got for this week.
Yep.
But thanks to everybody that stopped by. Thanks for all the followers that came through, and we will check everyone out and see everybody next week
Yep.
when all the games start rolling out. So we'll
No,
catch it.
I'm excited.
So we'll catch everybody later.
Take care.